President Reed, Dean Kaufman, Dean Wyden, members of the Board of Trustees, officers of the university, deans and vice presidents, guests of honor, members of the faculty, candidates for graduation, and your family and friends. Welcome to the 154th Annual Commencement of Loyola University Chicago and the 7th Combined Ceremony for the School of Communication and the School of Continuing and Professional Studies. As we begin, I'd like to draw your attention to the university's land acknowledgement statement on the inside front cover of your program, honoring the heritage of the grounds we walk. Now, will everyone who is able please stand as the Loyola Wind Ensemble plays the national anthem. We ask that you remain standing until after Reverend D. Scott Hendrickson of the Society of Jesus, Associate Professor and Associate Provost for Global and Community Engagement, gives the invocation.
Let us pray. Good and gracious God, we ask you to bless the graduates who stand before us now. Bless them with gratitude for their unique gifts and talents, which they have developed here in this university. Bless them with understanding and heartfelt joy for the support they have received from their friends and families. And bless them for who they have become as lifelong learners in their journey at Loyola University Chicago. Where there is injustice, may their voices preach equality. Where there is economic disparity, may their efforts bring forth partnership and engagement in community. Where the world blisters and breaks under the duress of harm, may their actions be an example of stewardship to all. And where there is derision and violence done unto others, may they be emboldened in solidarity as global citizens. God of all, you are the source of all grace. We thank you for this day, and we humbly ask that we may always have the wisdom to acknowledge you as the font and source of all that is good. We ask this in your name, amen.
Thank you, Father Hendrickson. Will everyone please be seated? It is now my pleasure to present Dr. Elizabeth Kaufman, Interim Dean of the School of Communication.
Thank you, Provost Callahan. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you to the commencement for the School of Communication and the School for Continuing and Professional Studies. One of our dear colleagues and founders of the communication program is missing today. He passed away recently, and we just want to send our hearts out to his family as he commences on his next journey with us. This is Dr. Mark Pollack. Zora Neale Hurston once wrote, "There are years that ask questions and years that answer." What kind of year has 2024 been? Artificial intelligence, freedom of the press, warfare, global temperatures keep rising, plenty of questions, right? Maybe not quite as many as since the pandemic years, but still. Your college degree will serve you well here. You have learned how to ask revealing questions, search for innovative answers, and create engaging and informative stories. Please join me in congratulating these talented students, the ones who aren't scared to ask the questions, our graduates of 2024. As you go out into the world, please stay in touch with us and don't forget to share your stories. Congratulations. Thanks.
Guests of honor, members of the faculty and administration, esteemed attendees, greetings. And to the graduates of the School of Continuing and Professional Studies. During your time as students, you've been inspired by the Jesuit mission to live according to the deepest desires of your heart, and in so doing, to care for and serve others. I know you're aware of how much you've received, but what you may not know is how much you've given to us. You've inspired us by your courage in returning to school later in life and by your bravery in overcoming your doubts and fears. You've taught us that it's never too late to set out on a new path and that circumstances, no matter how tough, can be overcome. You've surprised us by the wisdom, experience, and openness you bring to the classroom, and therefore how much you get out of it. You've gratified us by your commitment to our community and your support of others within it. And you've shown us that transformation is possible at any stage, especially when one approaches it with gratitude and perseverance. We are truly thankful and immensely proud of you. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dean Kaufman and Dean Wyden. With pleasure, I now present Michael William Chopra, candidate for the degrees of Bachelor of Arts in Film and Digital Media and Bachelor of Science in Environmental Sciences, School of Environmental Sustainability, Honors Cum Laude, who will offer some remarks on behalf of the graduates of the School of Communication.
Thank you, Provost Callahan. Good evening, President Reed, Provost Callahan, Dean Kaufman, Ms. Span-Cooper, faculty and administrators, family, friends, and my fellow graduates. It is an incredible honor to be amongst all of you at this great moment. Today, we celebrate our transference from the world of academia into a world of our own making. We do so with joy and purpose because we love the challenge of communication, a challenge we must embrace because we all have a story to tell. Here's one story. On February 14th, 1990, the NASA Voyager 1 space probe photographed Earth from approximately 3.7 billion miles away. You can find that on the NASA website. The picture itself is abstract and would otherwise be unremarkable if not for a minuscule, barely noticeable pale blue dot illuminated against the darkness. That dot is Earth, recontextualized in an image to be merely a pixel stranded in an infinite space. The Earth our world, our lives, all feel so small when we look at this image. A change in perspective can change the world. Through the power of communication, this image reframes everything we've ever known. Renowned astronomer Carl Sagan said, "Our posturings, our imagined self-importance, the delusion that we have some privileged place in the universe are challenged by this point of pale light." And all it took was one image, one piece of media, to bring people into existential reflections on the nature of reality and ourselves. That's why we're here. Because through media, storytelling, communication, we can show new ways to interpret the world. As current and soon-to-be producers of media, I urge you to recognize the responsibility of storytelling. Use it to bring people closer to each other, to bring transparency to society in these turbulent times, and to recontextualize our world to those who feel lost. Use the power of communication with authenticity and resolve to help your fellow human beings understand this pale blue dot we all inhabit, so that maybe we can learn how to change it. Thank you and congratulations to the graduating class of 2024.
Thank you, Michael. I would now like to introduce Crystal Westmoreland, candidate for the degree of Master of Professional Studies, Instructional Design, who will offer some remarks on behalf of the graduates of the School of Continuing and Professional Studies.
Good evening, everyone. President Reed, Provost Callahan, Dean Whiten, faculty, administrators, family, friends, and of course, the extraordinary class of 2024. Today, I stand before you as a testament to the transformative power of education and resilience. My journey to Loyola and to the School of Continuing and Professional Studies was not a conventional one. It was a starting point in my life when I became a young mother. This profound experience ignited a hunger for knowledge that ultimately led me to Loyola's SCPS. Growing up in the confines of public housing on Chicago's South Side, I intimately understood the daily struggles endured by many. Raised in a single-parent household alongside my sister, challenges were abundant. Also, from dodging gang-related conflicts on my way home from school and witnessing my male peers unjustly targeted by law enforcement, I often felt powerless. The scarcity of resources shattered not only my dreams, but those of my friends as well. And I thank God for His grace and His mercy. As a student at Loyola, it became a calling, a sacred responsibility to be a beacon of hope for others and for those facing adversity, inspiring, supporting, and guiding them to success, illustrating that with determination and grit, that we can chart a path of success and regardless of any beginnings. I completed both of my undergraduate and graduate work within SCPS, and my experience has been transformative. Climbing professional ranks, I transitioned from a sterile processing technician to a sterile processing regional director overseeing operations across multiple states and hospitals. My contributions recognized by esteemed healthcare organizations, it underlined the real-world impact of my SCPS education. The unwavering dedication of the faculty has left an unforgettable mark, while lasting connections with fellow students have enriched my experience far beyond the confines of the classroom. As we stand on the brink of a new chapter, let us carry the lessons of resilience, determination, and the transformative power of education. Congratulations, class of 2024. Thank you.
It is now my pleasure to welcome back Dean Kaufman, who will introduce our commencement speaker, Melody Span Cooper.
One of the School of Communication's biggest assets for student learning, public service, and distinctive music is our Chicago radio station, WLUW. Yeah. For years, WLUW has been committed to broadcasting in multiple languages and playing alternative music and podcasts. But WLUW, founded in 1978, would not be what it is today without the radio legacy that our commencement speaker represents. Chicago's radio station, WVON 1690 AM, has stood the test of time, operating as one of the nation's most respected media powerhouses focused on the Black community for the last 60 years. Founded in 1963 by Chess Records, owners Leonard and Phil Chess, you may have heard of them, WVON was the home of blues music, way ahead of its time, playing Muddy Waters, Etta James, Chuck Berry, musicians we now credit with the birth of rock and roll. WVON became the #1 station in Chicago, broadcasting interviews and speeches of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., helping to elect Harold Washington as Chicago's first Black mayor, Carol Moseley Braun as the first Black woman elected to the U.S. Senate, and of course, Barack Obama as senator and our first U.S. Black president. These are radio shows that were and remain committed to being live, local, and carrying trusted voices. WVON is Chicago radio. WVON is owned by Midway Broadcasting Corporation, co-founded by legendary disc jockey Purvis Spann, the father of today's commencement speaker. You can hear our speaker talk about her father demanding that she work the 4 a.m. morning shift during her Loyola days on her recent podcast, and she may reference some of this. Purvis Spann provided the building blocks for the next generation of media ownership by grooming his daughter into the media executive that she is today. Under her guidance, Midway has expanded to include WRLL 1450, La Voz de la Comunidad Latina, the voice of Chicago's Latino community, and Vaughn TV, WVON's OTT digital streaming television network. It gives me great honor and pleasure to introduce our incomparable commencement speaker this year, a Loyola Chicago alumni, Board of Trustees member, co-chair of the Diversity and Inclusion Council for the Obama Presidential Center, author of The Girlfriend's Guide to Closing the Deal, and she signed her copy for me today. I'm so excited. And the second generation owner, CEO, and chairwoman of the legendary Midway Broadcasting Corporation, Melody Span Cooper.
Good afternoon. It is quite an honor. Before I begin, I'd like to thank the leadership at this institution, President Reed, Provost Callahan, Dean Kaufman, Dean Wyden, fellow trustees, faculty and administrators, family and friends, and the history-making Loyola University Chicago graduating class of 2024. Besides making history because you're graduating from college and getting your master's, this is a special moment because for many of you, this is your first graduation, probably since the 8th grade because of the pandemic. So we see you and recognize you, and it's quite an honor. And to Crystal and to Michael, wonderful remarks. What a great legacy this institution will have with you coming from it. This is a special moment for me as well, a full circle moment. Imagine being able to give the commencement address at your alma mater. But I got a few confessions to make, so I need to enter a no judgment zone with you on this. Imagine being able to give the commencement address at your alma mater when your GPA was less than a desirable, when you got a degree in a field you never worked in, when you took the experience of your actual graduation for granted, failing to attend the ceremony because you weren't graduating with your class. Then you denied your parents, who never had the privilege to attend college, an opportunity to see their daughter walk across the stage as the first generation of college graduates in their family. So I come here today to repent and to not only ask for forgiveness, but to thank you for allowing me this full circle moment and giving me the honor of putting on this robe and sharing this ceremony with you today. You have given this little girl from the south side of Chicago a second chance to get it right. I may have denied my hardworking parents the opportunity to experience a graduation in a traditional sense, but I can proudly stand here today and look towards the heaven and say, Daddy, I made it. Today, I want to speak on your genius and how to tap into it in a world of AI. In this technological age, new integrations and innovations occur very rapidly. They impact the world as we know it, flatlining industries, disrupting markets, and creating a weapon called cancel culture that not only takes down people, but upends entire professions in rapid speed. Think about it. In the last 5 years, we have been introduced to 5G, quantum computing, blockchain technology, edge computing, and the grand dame of elimination of life as we know it, AI, artificial intelligence. I'm not kidding. I was in Las Vegas with friends last year, and one of my friends asked if I wanted to go see Whitney Houston. Now, I know we had a good time, but I also know Whitney's been dead for over a decade. So no, I don't want to see Whitney Houston. But she was appearing in concert in a sonogram. The rapper Drake just dropped a new track with new lyrics from Tupac Shakur in it. But the best one is the man who recently got arrested for having a principal fired, you might have heard of this, who he alleged had leveled racial slurs at him. He had cloned the man's voice to say some things that were just lame and inappropriate. His use or abuse of AI landed him in jail. But here's the thing. Most of the world is now all in on AI. 55% of people are using AI. 73% of companies are using some aspect of it. 35% of companies are investing in training and reskilling of team members to use AI. And I get it. If America is to compete, we must be technologically competitive. So AI has its place. But what happens to the purists? People like you, who've decided to hedge your bets on a degree from the School of Communications or the School of Continuing and Professional Studies at Loyola University Chicago in 2024, daring to swim upstream in a world of rapid-fire technology built on data and metrics, as opposed to being passion-purposed and socially intuitive, or what my mom would call good old-fashioned common sense, in order to enhance your careers. After tonight, you will be officially entering a global world of essential storytellers, using your own brand of AI, which is your personal agency in your respective industry. That's really the secret sauce to creating professional, fulfilling careers in the communication field today. One of my favorite movies of all time is a movie that came out before most of you were born, but many of you will know it. It's called Jerry Maguire. In it, Tom Cruise is a high-powered sports agent at the top of his game. He's got all the trappings. He's got money, he's repping A-list players, and he's got a smart, good-looking girl on his arm. And one night in his sleep, he gets an epiphany. Some may call it a crisis of conscience. He writes a 25-page manifesto challenging high-powered, big-money sports agents to grow a conscience. It got him fired. Now, that is not what I want you to take away from this story. Just stay with me, it gets better, I promise. But like you, Jerry Maguire was a purist whose epiphany found him at the intersection of purpose and passion and ultimately control over his own life and his life's work. That's your agency. Now, meld it with today's communications industry, and you'll find opportunities abound. The once linear fields of journalism, marketing, and public relations have shifted to include new verticals that encompasses film and digital media, advertising creative, multimedia journalism, and my favorite, advocacy and social change. Your degree in communications at this critical time for storytelling and technology in an interconnected and interdependent world finds this graduating class prepared for a cross-section of possibilities, from global opportunities to community-centric social impact work. So as you enter this world that is experiencing rapid-fire technology and a belief system that passions don't pay, it may make some curious as to, what are you thinking? Well, I've done some critical thinking, and I think what you're thinking is genius. You are joining a field that includes game-changing geniuses, like the ultimate creative, Walt Disney, and the pioneering journalist, Ida B. Wells, the masters of oratory, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and of imagination, J.K. Rowling. And how about the social ingenuity of Mark Zuckerberg? Oh, and yes, my proclaimed genius himself, Jerry Maguire. I promised you that this story did not end there. Jerry Maguire's AI had nothing to do with artificial intelligence. It was about this young idealist who created his own unique footprint in the industry he loved. It's about being true to oneself, maintaining personal integrity, following a moral compass, and never compromising your values while embracing a career path that you find or that finds you. Yep, in the end, my man Jerry wins, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm going to leave you with my favorite quote from Jerry Maguire's manifesto. It simply says, I am wondering what the exact moment is when we truly love our jobs. Is it during the day or at the end of the day? Or is it years later, looking back on all we accomplished? I think perhaps truly loving something is the ability to love it in the moment. My hope for each of you is that you immerse yourselves into the joy of this moment, and that the love of it and of your craft will last you a lifetime. Thank you for this opportunity. May God bless you, your dreams, and your journeys. Thank you.
Thank you, Melody, for your thoughtful and inspiring words. The candidates for master's degrees from the School of Communication will now be presented. Dr. Elizabeth Kaufman, Interim Dean of the School of Communication, will make the recommendations to the President, who in turn will confer the degrees.
Will the candidates for master's degrees from the School of Communication please rise? President Reed, I have the pleasure of presenting to you the candidates for the degrees of Master of Communication in Digital Media and Storytelling and Master of Science in Global Strategic Communication. The candidates have fulfilled all the requirements for their degrees, and I recommend that the degrees be conferred upon them.
Candidates, upon the recommendation of the Dean of the School of Communication and its faculty, and by the authority granted to Loyola University Chicago by the state of Illinois, and vested in me by the Board of Trustees of our university, I am very pleased to confer upon you the master's degrees for which you have been recommended. And as a sign of your new academic status, please put on your hoods. Congratulations.
The candidates for master's degrees from the School of Communication will now come forward as directed by the marshals to be recognized by name. Bob Akers, professional in residence, will read the names of the graduates. Candidates who have not been taken out of your rows may be seated. Family and friends, please remain in your seats and hold your applause until all the degree groups have been recognized, so that each candidate's name may be heard by their family and loved ones. Guests are not permitted on the arena floor near the stage. Professional photographers are taking photos of the graduates, and these photos will be available to you in the coming days. Thank you for your cooperation.
Receiving the degree Master of Communication in Digital Media Storytelling, Anfal Al-Jawish. Rose Lar Bazil. Marina Hart Donahue. Najla Zarifa Edwards. Evangelis Grissom. Hillary Hedstrom. Yunshai Shai. Keegan Patrick Hines. Congratulations, graduates. Receiving the degree Master of Science in Global Strategic Communication, Catherine Caputo. Jocelyn Maria Correa. Trinity De Jesus. Isabel Diaz. Ava Maitland Dunlop. Samuel Green. Mary Rose Keeley. Jayla Nicole Jackson. Natalia Pacura. Yesenia Rivera. Nev Emma Ryan. Mariana Sarmiento Riaño. Tatum Spurk. Annalise Christine Taylor. Christopher Yushirima. Shajima. I screwed that up. Congratulations, graduates.
candidates for baccalaureate degrees from the School of Communication will now be presented. Dean Kaufman will make the recommendations to the president, who in turn will confer the degrees.
Will the candidates for the baccalaureate degrees from the School of Communication please rise? President Reed, I have the pleasure of presenting to you the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Arts. The candidates have fulfilled all the requirements for their degrees, and I recommend that the degrees be conferred upon them.
Candidates, upon the recommendation of the Dean of the School of Communication and its faculty, and by the authority granted to Loyola University Chicago by the state of Illinois and delegated to me by the Board of Trustees of our university, I am pleased to confer upon you the baccalaureate degrees for which you have been recommended. And as a sign of your new academic status, move your tassels from the right to the left. Congratulations.
The candidates for baccalaureate degrees from the School of Communication will now come forward as directed by the marshals to be recognized by name. Bob Akers and Lauren Sanchez, Director of Student Transitions and Academic Partnerships, will read the names of the graduates. Candidates who have not been taken out of their rows may be seated.
Receiving the degree Bachelor of Arts in Advertising and Public Relations, Colin Anderson, magna cum laude. Alyssa Armanino, cum laude. Sarah Elizabeth Barber, magna cum laude. Katarina Boskovic, summa cum laude. Salvatore Robert Carcagno, honors, magna cum laude. Nishal Chaudhry. Natalie Krista Collison, summa cum laude. Angela Faith David, cum laude. Isabella Marie Dinga. Olivia Rose Braun, magna cum laude. Jessica Dragovich, cum laude. Carolyn Azak, magna cum laude. Daniel Rafael Fabito. Emma Angeline Ferrigni, summa cum laude. Crisbel Franco, cum laude. Madeline Gano, magna cum laude. Catherine Garvey, magna cum laude. Tatum Grubbs, magna cum laude. Jamie Hansen. Frances Ann Hendrickson, cum laude. Carlos Augusto Hernandez, magna cum laude. Ana Sofia Hippis, honors, magna cum laude. Ashley Grace Hornback, magna cum laude. Elixia Iglenza, magna cum laude. Dante Malik Johnson. Catherine Taylor Carambellis, cum laude. Francis Karpowitz, summa cum laude. Elizabeth Klingsporn, summa cum laude. Ana Karina Leal, cum laude. Lucinda Lewandowski. Madeline Rose Litka, honors, summa cum laude. Juliana Lopez, magna cum laude. Carly McNabb. Samuel McCormick Ludecki, summa cum laude, honors. Isabella Martirano. Roxana Alicia Mendez. Olivia Nicole Miraz, summa cum laude. Kishan Patel, summa cum laude. Jacqueline Placencia Perez. Paulina Presmowski Noboa. Emily Rose Price, summa cum laude. Shelby Rapasi. Elizabeth Grace Reppin, cum laude. Jeanette Ringer, summa cum laude. Juan Diego Sarg. Avery Elizabeth Schmitz, cum laude. Cole Philip Schnobrick. Finn Neil Sokolowski. Marielle Therese Sorhando, honors, summa cum laude. Kinga Ildiko Seke, magna cum laude. Karen Armand Tandon. Satori Tannen, summa cum laude. Mehul Oberoi. Thomas Villafana. Julia Catherine Vitale, summa cum laude. Caitlin Rose Voit, cum laude. Caitlin Wagner. Hannah Winter, magna cum laude. Zoe Jiankin Zanko Manena. Stephen Zapata. Michael Brian Zing, cum laude. Congratulations, graduates. Where are they here? Creative. Receiving the Bachelor of Arts in Advertising Creative. Miguel Ebechua Jacob, magna cum laude. Bob Cahill Duval, cum laude. Marcella Larice Griffin, magna cum laude. Brody Kilroy Malia, summa cum laude. Zoom Viet Nguyen. Preston Sarnecki. Carolyn Shosik, honors, cum laude. Kiara Elena Williams, magna cum laude. Congratulations, graduates. It's yours, right?
Receiving the degree Bachelor of Arts in Advocacy and Social Change, Leanne Hayes. Maya Christine Heim, Interdisciplinary Honors, summa cum laude. Ashley Helene Parks, Interdisciplinary Honors, cum laude. Louise DeTay Vega. McKenna Renee Ziegler, interdisciplinary honors, cum laude. Congratulations, graduates. Receiving the degree Bachelor of Arts in Communication Studies, Alexandra Mary Denise Arell, magna cum laude. Robert Jean Beeman, cum laude. Amelia Berkstrand, interdisciplinary honors, cum laude. Matthew Kavanaugh, magna cum laude. Alexandra Daher, magna cum laude. Ella Anthony Govrick, magna cum laude. Alexandra Janice Hardy, summa cum laude. Mila Jane Harkness, summa cum laude. Eve Jordan Javinsky. Brendan Thomas Cave, cum laude. Naziha Khan. Christiana Kirchner. Andrew Klippen. Melina Gabrielle Katsiopoulos. Molly Maloney. Madison Noel Miranda, summa cum laude. Olivia Grace Mitchell, magna cum laude. Gareth David Mullins, interdisciplinary honors, magna cum laude. Isabella Ordonez, cum laude. Alec Joseph Charles Orndal, cum laude. Malia Selena Parks. Vidushi Prasad, summa cum laude. Emily Marie Rivera de la Cruz. Nicole Marie Rabaki. Daniela Rojas McKenzie, magna cum laude. Brooke Alexandra Stulginskas. Zoe Jane Towner, cum laude. Evan Vivia. Allison Westron, cum laude. Isabella Marie Yarbrough. Congratulations, graduates. Receiving the degree Bachelor of Arts in Film and Digital Media, Nicolette Anakini, summa cum laude. Eggy Sanie, cum laude. Michael William Chopra, interdisciplinary honors, cum laude. Alana Danielle Clark. Nicholas Cruz. Maya Lale Gaderi, summa cum laude. Mateo Gonzalez, magna cum laude. Grace West Gradowski, magna cum laude. Connor Jacobs. Nilifer Kaya, interdisciplinary honors, summa cum laude. Tori Margaret Kenny Gates. Ashlyn Kincaid Nolan, magna cum laude. Sabrina Lynn Balsink Craig, interdisciplinary honors, magna cum laude. Connor Aiden McIntosh, interdisciplinary honors. Emma Louise Ost, magna cum laude. Alexander James Wooldridge Powell, magna cum laude. Jennifer Paula Rodriguez, cum laude. Sedona Sophia Shipka, cum laude. Avalon Eileen Smith, magna cum laude. Josephine Kim Stoller, summa cum laude. Holland Michelle States, magna cum laude. Congratulations, graduates. Receiving the degree Bachelor of Arts in Multimedia Journalism, William Thomas Bizone, magna cum laude. Aiden Aloysius Cahill, cum laude. Caitlin Clark, cum laude. Grace Murray DeLon, Interdisciplinary Honors, magna cum laude. Madeline B. Franz, Interdisciplinary Honors, magna cum laude. Isabella Annunciata Giudice, magna cum laude. Isabella Grosso. Blake Hall, cum laude. Colin Jeffrey Hart, magna cum laude. Austin Bodie Hoydar, cum laude. Hannah Hauser, Interdisciplinary Honors, cum laude. Lucas Michael Kim, magna cum laude. Emily Grace Levanis, magna cum laude. Sarah Mahaney, magna cum laude. Joel Antonio Ortiz. Angela Isabella Ramirez. Susan Lynn Bethany Singroy. Jackson Andrew Slaughter, summa cum laude. Madison Kim Stanley Jones. Alyssa Nicole Suarez. Rebecca Zarzinski. Sophia Riley Tambernino, magna cum laude. Brunel Waleed Toma. Amelia Vilhauer. Megan Eileen Walsh. Elizabeth Marie Winchester, magna cum laude. Frank Zaraski, Interdisciplinary Honors. Congratulations, graduates.
One more time, congratulations to the class of 2024, School of Communications. The candidates for master's degrees from the School of Continuing and Professional Studies will now be presented. Dr. Jean Wyden, Interim Dean of the School of Continuing and Professional Studies, will make the recommendations to the President, who in turn will confer the degrees.
Will the candidates for master's degrees in the School of Continuing and Professional Studies please rise? President Reed, I have the pleasure of presenting to you the candidates for the degrees Master of Arts, Master of Professional Studies, and Master of Public Policy. The candidates have fulfilled all the requirements for the degrees, and I recommend that the degrees be conferred upon them.
Candidates, upon the recommendation of the Dean of the School of Continuing and Professional Studies and its faculty, and by the authority granted to Loyola University Chicago by the state of Illinois and vested in me by the university's Board of Trustees, I am very pleased to confer upon you the master's degrees for which you have been recommended. And as a sign of your new academic status, please put on your hoods. Congratulations.
The candidates for master's degree from the School of Continuing and Professional Studies will now come forward as directed by the marshals to be recognized by name. Dr. Annette Steinecker, Director of Urban Affairs and Public Policy Programs, will read the names of the candidates. Receiving the degree Master of Arts in Public Service Leadership, Ralph Billingsley. Denise Anna Duvarney. Dominique Simone Jackson. Daniel M. Landsman. Tiffany Latrice Lamore. Arielle Louise Tate. Receiving the degree Master of Arts in Urban Affairs, Genevieve Marie Buteau. Receiving the degree Master of Public Policy, Rowan Bethany Obach. Jessica Melinda Taylor. Receiving the degree Master of Professional Studies in Instructional Design, Crystal Westmoreland. Congratulations, graduates. The candidates for certificates from the School of Continuing and Professional Studies will now be presented. Dean Wyden will make the recommendations to the president, who in turn will confer the degrees.
Will the candidates for the certificates from the School of Continuing and Professional Studies please rise? President Reed, I have the pleasure of presenting to you the candidates for the certificates. The candidates have fulfilled all the requirements for their certificates, and I recommend that the certificates be conferred upon them.
Candidates, upon the recommendation of the Dean of the School of Continuing and Professional Studies and its faculty, and by the authority granted to Loyola University Chicago by the state of Illinois and delegated to me by the Board of Trustees of our university, I am pleased to confer upon you the certificates for which you have been recommended. Congratulations.
The candidates for certificates from the School of Continuing and Professional Studies will now come forward as directed by the marshals to be recognized by name. Marie Harrigan, Director of the Institute for Paralegal Studies, will read the names of the candidates.
Receiving the certificate, Corporate Practice Certificate in Paralegal Studies, Ariana A. Lewis. Carla Reed. Mary Elizabeth Tengreth. Viola Batia. Rebecca Weinstein. Receiving the certificate, Litigation and Corporate Practice Certificate in Paralegal Studies, Gabriela Ruth Adamovitz Cabral. Sade Adejumo. Claire C. Fay. Diana Valenti Meyer. Receiving the certificate, Litigation Practice and Paralegal Studies, Trinity Bias. Emily Marie Calasans. Sade Shanice Davis. Kaylin Denise Glass. Erica Beth Kiris. Avery Nim. Laura Alessandra Ramos. Congratulations, graduates.
The candidates for baccalaureate degrees from the School of Continuing and Professional Studies will now be presented. Dean Wyden will make the recommendations to the president, who in turn will confer the degrees.
Will the candidates for the baccalaureate degrees from the School of Continuing and Professional Studies please rise? President Reed, I have the pleasure of presenting to you the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Arts. The candidates have fulfilled all the requirements for their degrees, and I recommend that the degrees be conferred upon them.
One final time. Candidates, upon the recommendation of the Dean of the School of Continuing and Professional Studies and its faculty, and by the authority granted to Loyola University Chicago by the state of Illinois, and delegated to me by the Board of Trustees of our university, I confer upon you the baccalaureate degrees for which you have been recommended. And as a sign of your new academic status, please move your tassels from the right to the left. Congratulations.
The candidates for baccalaureate degrees from the School of Continuing and Professional Studies will now come forward as directed by the marshals to be recognized by name. Dr. Eva Micah, Acting Associate Dean and Clinical Associate Professor in the School of Continuing Professional Studies, will read the names of the graduates.
Receiving the degree of Applied Psychology, Lisa Jo Davis Andrew. Jacqueline Gilbert, summa cum laude. Jessica Contessa Dent. Neka Anwata. Bethany Salgado. Levita Titus, cum laude. Caitlin Marie Walker. Austin John Zekas. Receiving the degree of Applied Studies, Kimberly Norwood. Receiving the degree of Bachelor's in Information Technology, Henry Kenneth Nicholas III, magna cum laude. Receiving the degree of the Bachelor's in Management, Marielle Asciencio. Joanne Brandstrader, cum laude. Ana Lilia Cardoso. Rocio Chavez. Shantunique Nicole Gatlin. Evelyn Gonzalez, magna cum laude. Kinga Christina Guza, magna cum laude. Fiona Hoya. Yesenia Salgado Hurtado. Silvana Shilita. Catherine Alexandra Ward. Receiving the degree of Bachelor's in Paralegal Studies, R. Rendell Anderson. Receiving the degree of Bachelor's in Management, Nicole Michelle Love. Receiving the degree of Bachelor's in Paralegal Studies, Anna B. Garcia. Chiza Santiago, magna cum laude. Receiving the bachelor's degree or degree in Bachelor's of Pastoral Leadership, Mirta Rivera Garcia, magna cum laude. Receiving the bachelor's in Strategic Digital Communication, Evan Claude Smith Haynes. Congratulations, graduates.
Congratulations to the class of 2024 from the School of Continuing and Professional Studies. One more time. Please direct your attention to the screens as we stream a video message from the Loyola Alumni Association, followed by remarks from President Mark Reed.
Hello from Chicago. My name is Thad Wong from the class of 1996, and I am co-CEO of At Properties Christie's International Real Estate. I wish you all a big congratulations on one of the greatest accomplishments in your life, your graduation. After graduation, you are automatically welcomed as part of the Loyola University Chicago Alumni Association. It is now my pleasure to turn it over to my fellow alumnus, Dr. Steven Squinto. Dr. Squinto has had a remarkable career in the biotechnology company building and investing space. Speaking to you from Palm Beach, Florida, Dr. Steven Squinto.
Thanks, Thad, and congratulations to all of our graduates. I graduated from Loyola with 2 degrees. I am currently with JP Morgan Asset Management. I serve as the Chief Investment Officer and the Managing Partner of our newly created Life Sciences Private Capital Group. Loyola's goal is to find a meaningful way for all of our alumni to remain engaged with the university. For example, you can stay connected through Loyola's mentorship program, Loyola Linked. It is now my pleasure to introduce Dr. Glennis Green. Dr. Green serves as the co-founder and executive director of the Black Researchers Collective. She joins us from Chicago, Illinois.
Thank you, Dr. Squinto, and congratulations, everyone. My name is Dr. Glennis Green, aka Dr. G, and I'm a 2009 graduate from the College of Arts and Sciences. A great way to stay in touch with Loyola is to keep in contact with professors and staff or attend one of the many alumni events. There will always be a way for you to stay connected. There are regional Rambler communities that you can be a part of, including in San Francisco, home of Reach Capital, co-founder and Loyola alum Jennifer Caroline. Jennifer taught in traditional public schools for 7 years, pursued an MA in education from Stanford, then went on to learn the craft of venture capital for almost a decade before co-founding Reach Capital.
Thank you so much, Dr. Green. I graduated from Loyola in 1997 from the College of Arts and Sciences. I'm a co-founder and partner at Reach Capital. Loyola was the first real mission-driven organization that I was a part of, and it had a major impact on my career, including the founding of Reach, a mission-driven venture fund focused on education. And it is so important to remain part of our community. So let's stay in touch. I urge you to take full advantage of these opportunities. Congratulations again on your graduation from Loyola University Chicago. You should be very proud. The best is yet to come. Go Ramblers!
So we're nearing the end, class of 2024. Let's give them a big round of applause. On behalf of the faculty, the staff, and the entire Loyola University Chicago community, I offer you my heartfelt and deepest congratulations on this very special day. And of course, we welcome in a special way all the family and friends who are joining us here today in the arena and the many who are watching us online on a live feed. Now, graduates, I ask that you please rise for a moment. Let's take a moment, graduates. Let's take a moment to acknowledge and thank the people whose dreams of this day may stretch all the way back to when you were born. And perhaps your own dreams of this day extend back for many years. Your parents, your family, your friends, the many people who provided advice, support, and companionship on this journey. So you know where they are in the arena, or you know if they're watching virtually. So turn and face them and give them a grateful round of applause. Now, graduates, years from now, and dare I say, hours from now, few of you will remember the president of Loyola University Chicago who spoke at your graduation or greeted you as you came across the stage. Of this, I am absolutely certain, and I don't offend easily. But you will vividly remember the remarkable faculty and staff that you encountered here. You will benefit from their insight and their care for the rest of your lives. And so please honor the Loyola faculty and staff who share in your achievements and celebration, and join me in saying thank you to them. Now, we have already heard wonderful reflections and remarks from our student and commencement speakers. So take comfort in the fact that this will be very brief. I simply want to say to you graduates that you have been privileged to be part of the Jesuit educational experience that is nearly 500 years old and more than 150 years old, specifically here at Loyola and in Chicago. We seek to educate and form in you the next generation of leaders who will be capable of shaping the future with competence, vision, justice, and charity, with a sense of calling, with concern for all of the human family. And you have received much during your time at Loyola, but always remember that your education ultimately isn't just for you. It's for you to serve and to make a difference in your community, in your family, in your chosen professions, and in the lives of others. So go forward and embrace your futures boldly and confidently, always remembering that you are loved. We love you, your parents, family, and friends love you, and God loves you. Thank you very much. So we're going to switch now, and the graduates, please be seated. And everyone else here in the arena today, if you are able, please stand. I invite you to join me in a final blessing upon our graduates. The words will appear on the screens, and it's also located on the last page of the program book. Extend your hands and join me in saying, may God bless you and sustain you on this your graduation day. May the Creator of this vast universe keep you safe as you go forth from this place that has nourished your mind and your soul. May the Almighty look down upon you and give you success in all your endeavors, courage in all your struggles and challenges, understanding in all that is new to you, wisdom to choose what is right and do what is good, perseverance in all you undertake, serenity and peace in the knowledge that you are not alone, that you are loved. And may the Lord of all look kindly upon you this day and forever. Amen. Congratulations, class of 2024.
Will our graduates please rise? it is now my privilege to invite Nicolette C. Anachini, candidate for the degrees of Bachelor of Arts Vocal Performance and Bachelor of Arts Film and Digital Media, summa cum laude, to lead the community in the Loyola University alma mater. Nicolette will be accompanied by the Loyola Wind Ensemble. Thank you to our talented musicians. Let's give them all a round of applause. We ask the audience to please be seated until the recessional from the stage and the graduates have left the arena. Following the recessional, please join the graduates for a reception on the West Quad.